Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be making cheese and onion quiche. First of all, we need to make the pastry. So I've got 4 cups of flour, 2, 3 and 4. 4 cups of flour. Into that I'm just going to put a teaspoon of sugar and a teaspoon of salt. Just mix that up a bit. And then into this I'm going to have 2 tablespoons of butter, cold butter. The butter has to be cold. So it's like 2 tablespoons of butter. And then what you're going to do is cut this butter up into little squares. This is cold butter. And what you want to do is just try and cut these into squares, little pieces. And then what we want to do is to start mixing them up until they come like a crumbly, sandy texture. So get your both hands in and just keep pressing the butter between your fingers and the flour together. So let's do that for a little while until they all come together. Okay, after about 5 minutes of working your butter into your flour, like so, you've still got lumps of butter in it, which we want that. That'll be nice to form up some air bubbles in the pastry. So once you do that, now this is cold water. It has to be cold water. We'll start off with putting about 5 tablespoons. 5. Here you go. I'll put 6. That's 6 tablespoons I've got there. It's going to need a bit more. You want to put the cold water in gradually so you don't over put it. I'm going to put another 3 spoons. And we'll see how that comes together. That's coming along nice. I don't want to squeeze too much of it. You can see that it's coming together. Right. At this stage now, I'm going to turn it onto my work surface and work it together here. I don't want to make it too wet. In fact, I can do this into 2. As you can see, you might think, oh, it needs a bit more, but once you just work it out like this, it will come together. Then what you want to do, I'll work on that one as well. What you want to do is get a cling film or food bags and put your dough and keep it in the fridge for about half hour, at least half hour. So I'll work on that one and put that one in a bag as well and put it away in the fridge, and then I'll come back to you to get our mixture ready. Okay, while our pastry is in the fridge resting, just get a pan, either a knob of butter or just a drop of olive oil. We don't want a lot. I have chopped up one large onion. I've chopped it up in half and then into slices. So we put that in, and we just want to soften these up a little bit. So just soften up your onions first of all. And in the meanwhile, cheese, I'm going to use, this is 550, so I'll be using half of that, about 275 grams of your cheese, just grating that on the large size. Okay, that's our onions done now. So we'll leave our onions aside now, take it off the heat and leave that aside. And I have grated half of mature cheddar cheese, but obviously you can use whatever cheese you like. That's all ready now. I'm just going to go ahead and get our pastry out the fridge now. So our pastry's out the fridge. I'm going to put this one back in until we're ready to use it, so I'll just take that one out first. So okay, just flour your surface a little bit and take out your pastry. First of all, just work with it with your hand a little bit. And then get your pastry pin, rolling pin, and just start to roll out your pastry. Don't worry about the cracks, they will come together. So keep on rolling your pastry. As you're rolling it out, you just push these gaps together and they'll be fine, honestly. And you just keep on rolling it out. Once you get it out to the size that you need, I have just put a knob of butter and just greased my tin that I'll be using. And then what you want to do is, don't worry about the edges, like I said, because they will all come together. Just pick up your pastry and put it onto your tin baking tray, like so. And then what you want to do is work this in to your tin, like so. So keep doing that till you get it into the right shape. Once you've pushed down your pastry, what you want to do is get a fork and just do like little holes. Air ventilators. And then just get greaseproof paper. Put that inside because we need to blind bake it now. And then use some chickpeas. Just to put a bit of weight at the bottom. And now we're going to bake that in the oven for about 15 minutes. I have got the oven on. If you want, you can either cut these after, or you can just go around now and just trim them off, like so. That way these can be used again with the next pastry. So you just go ahead and just trim them off like that. I mean, most people like to leave them on because they do shrink down a bit. But just go ahead and just cut them down like so. Okay. Okay, after about 15 minutes, you want to take out this chickpeas out. So just and you save these chickpeas and just keep using them for when you're doing cooking. And now we're going to put this back in. See what I mean about if you cut it before, that it sort of shrinks down a bit. But that's fine. So we'll put it back in there for about another 10 minutes. And with that leftover pastry, I've just done it in a cupcake. I'll put that in as well. And then I'll come back to you in 10 minutes to make the mixture. Okay, another 10 more minutes in the oven until you get it more like a pinky colour. So that's our pastry ready now, blind baked. So we want to just keep that aside to let it cool down. And now we start with our filling mixture. I've got 4 eggs. And we just, oops, I'm going to turn it off. Just beat that a little bit. Right, into this we want a teaspoon of salt and a teaspoon of black pepper. And then I've got some milk here. So about half a cup of milk. Now I'm going to put 1 tablespoon of yogurt into mine. Some people like to use cream. I like to use yogurt. So give it all a good mix. And then into this now we're going to add our grated cheese. And we just want to fold all that in. Now you could put your onions and cheese on first and then pour this over, but it's just as easy to put the whole lot in together and then pour it into your case. But it is still hot, so we're going to need to wait till that cools down. In the meanwhile, the onions are cooled down, so I'm going to add my onions into this as well and just do the whole mixture like that. The onions are already cooled down. So now we just wait till our pastry case is cooled down a bit before we put this lovely mixture into it. That's it. Once your pastry is cooled down, then what you want to do is get this mixture into it. onions. Good, lovely. There we are. Save a little bit to go into my small pastry. I've still got the other half of the mixture. There we are. And now this goes back into the oven to be cooked for until it's risen and it's cooked inside. Right guys, here we are. Mine's been in the oven for 50 minutes. I now needed to let it cool down before we can cut it. I had it on 400 Fahrenheit, which is about 200 degrees, and then turned it down to about 180 degrees. That's the little one as well. With the leftover pastry, this is what I'll be making later on, but I've got it in the freezer now. I'm going to take it another time and just make little small ones like so, and then they'll be just ideal. Nice. Anyway, I'll let it cool down and then we'll cut it up to show you. I'll take it out onto the plate so that way it will cool a lot quicker. Okay, and now we'll wait for it to cool down. Okay guys, it smells absolutely delicious. I'll start off with cutting this small one first. There we are. And let's have a slice of this. You can make them and freeze them. Like I said, you can make the pastry and freeze them and then just have them, take them out whenever you need them. There we are. Lovely. And now for the taste. I suppose I could have one of these small ones. It is delicious. Cheese and onion quiche. There we are. Next time I'll do a different filling for you. Hope you give it a go. Afiyet olsun. Absolutely delicious. Thank you for watching. Until next time, bye for now. Cheese and onion quiche.